Hi, I'm Jeannie. Welcome to Mimi Craft, your home for all things creative and DIY on a budget. I make all the mistakes so you don't have to. Today we'll be working with these heart-shaped bead wreaths from Dollar Tree. They went real quick. I don't know if you're able to get a hold of any of them, but that's what we're working with today. I'll give you an alternative a little bit later in the video. Well, here's one of the wreaths that I picked up. Looks a little bit wonky, certainly not as nice as the one on the internet, but it is Dollar Tree. This is what we're working with. We're going to trace both the outside and the inside of the wreath so that we can create a template for the back side of our heart. You can see we're drawing a heart in between those two lines so that we can glue the bead wreath onto it. Before you cut the template out, fold it in half so both sides are exactly the same. Here I'm just making sure that the shape is right. I'm just going to clean it up a little bit so I get a nice smooth line. It won't show, so it's not real critical. Now you have a template to cut out a new piece of poster board for the backing to the wreath. I didn't bother to cut a new one out just for demonstration purposes. Now you're going to want some scrapbooking paper. I bought this individual sheet at Hobby Lobby. Just use your template to trace the heart shape right on the paper. This is going to get glued onto the poster board. Here I'm cutting it out. And next we're going to be gluing those together, but it's really important that you get a really good seal. I'm using a glue stick so that the paper doesn't get wrinkly, but go crazy with the glue and really make sure that those two pieces are adhered together. Next I'm painting the beads, and I picked a color really close to that mint green in the background. They didn't have any that was just the right color, so I got a darker one in the right color family, and I'm going to mix my own color. When you want to go way lighter, start with white and then slowly add your second shade. And now the painting begins. I figured the easiest way to do this was to just leave the beads right on the frame instead of trying to take them all off. I used Aleene's tacky glue to glue the beads to the backing. Hot glue gun just dries too fast. I think it would be too difficult. Make sure that you get the glue as close to the edge as you can and just press it down on the beads. I also added some weight to it until it dried, just to make sure I had really good adhesion. This is the time to add your picture hanging hooks. I prefer command strips on all of my projects. This is probably the only other way you can add a hanger. This is just some twine. I'm going to put a piece of it on the back and just load it up with hot glue. This works, I just think the picture hangers are so much better. I'm going to add a bow to the front of this with 3 different kinds of ribbon. You see I'm laying them out here. We're going to do what's called a messy bow. I cut each piece of ribbon 5 inches in length. The mint green ribbon I had to cut in half. It was just too wide. You'll need to cut 4 pieces of each color. To assemble the bow, we're going to stack the ribbon, alternating the types of ribbon. crisscross them just a little bit. You'll see why in a minute. Scrunch all the ribbon tight together in the middle and take a piece of wire, wrap it around as tight as you can, give it a really good twist, and make sure that twist is on the back of the bow. Pull each individual ribbon toward the center to fluff the ribbon out. Now trim the excess wire. Take a 15-inch piece of the mint green ribbon. This particular ribbon, again, I'm going to have to cut in half. Measure and cut 11-inch pieces of the other two ribbons. Place the bow wrong side up in the center of the green ribbon and tie a knot. Now we're going to make all the tails. You already have the green one. Take the pink, fold it in half so you can get the center, and glue that to the middle of the back. I'm using a hot glue gun for this one. Glue it in kind of a V shape so that the tails hang properly. And then do the same with the last color. I added a little glue to the mint green one too, so that it would line up with the others and look nice when it was hanging. The bow's going to go over that little hook up at the top. I'll hide that, plus it'll make everything look really pretty. Trim up the tails of the bow so that they're all even, kind of like cutting banks. And this is how it turned out. I wanted to make this in another color, but when I got to Dollar Tree, no more bead wreaths. So I took this sign, and it's the same size and shape, almost the same shape. First thing I did was take off the back. Harder than you would think for a Dollar Tree item, but it gave me a run for my money. I covered the back with poster board because it was looking so bad. Next, I sanded the sides down. You want to make sure you get a little bit over the edge so there isn't anything sticking up. And there I'm sanding the staple marks from where the stake was. Now I'm painting the edges in a color that goes with the scrapbook paper that I purchased. This is Ballet Slipper Pink from Waverly. I extended the painting to about a half an inch on the back side So I decided I wanted the backing to be a little bit smaller, so I cut that down about 1/4 inch. You'll see that I used hot glue around the edges. Big mistake. You're going to want to use Aleene's tacky glue, and you're going to want to cover the entire surface. You want this cardboard or this poster board to be really firmly adhered to the back. Again, your best bet's going to be command strips. If you don't want to use those, you're probably going to want to use 1 or maybe even 2 sawtooth hangers. On another poster board heart, use a ton of glue stick, especially around the edges, and put your scrapbook paper over it, making sure that everything is really adhered. And trim the excess paper. Use Aleene's tacky glue to glue your paper to the wooden heart. Dollar Tree still had these round bead wreaths available, so we're going to use the beads from this to glue onto the heart, but you are going to have to take them off. The wire is really easy to bend. Straighten out the end and you'll be able to get all the beads off. Keep the end bent up for painting so that the beads don't fall off. I wanted to paint the beads pink, but the ballet slipper paint was just too dark, so I'm going to lighten it up. I'm going to start with white and slowly add the ballet slipper pink until I get the shade I like. I push up on the beads and paint it about 4 at a time. It keeps them from rolling around on the wire. This is chalk paint. I wanted a matte finish. I don't know if acrylic comes in matte, but that's what I wanted for this project. When the beads are dry, just straighten the wire and remove all of them. To glue the beads to the heart, again, Aleene's tacky glue. I started by placing a bead directly in the middle at the bottom, just for spacing. Then did the same up at the top with 2 beads. I use the holes in the bead as a guide. Want the hole to be on the exact edge of the heart, and then the beads to line up. You can see right there, hole to hole. You'll be able to visualize it as you go. I found that it was easier to put the glue on the heart instead of each individual bead. And definitely use more glue than I did. These beads have a little bit of weight to them, so they really pull on the paper. That's why it's so important that the paper be really glued tight to the wood heart below. I'm lining up the last several beads to see how much space I have left. This is a good reason for using a glue like Aleene's instead of hot glue, because you'll be able to make adjustments in case the beads don't fit perfectly. In this case, they fit really nicely. You can see I'm moving the beads around a little bit to adjust for the gapping. Here's another mistake I made. I decided to put a bead up at the top, which looks real good without the bow, but once you put the bow on, kind of makes it sit a little bit funny. The flower pick I chose was from Hobby Lobby. On sale, couple bucks. I chose the flowers I wanted to use and I placed them ahead of time so I could see how they looked. then attach them with a hot glue gun. I measured out two 15-inch pieces of satin ribbon, one white and one pink for the bow. Holding both pieces of ribbon together, you're going to tie just a regular bow like you would on your shoes. It's harder than it looks, the ribbon's really slippery. Separate the loops of the ribbon so that both colors show. Trim the tails so they're even. If you're having trouble tying the bow, just tie it around a pencil. And just secure the bow with a little hot glue. And here she is. Here's how they look side by side in my home. Now I know which one I like better. The one on the right is so much neater. I think if I make any more, I'll make them that way. Knowing Dollar Tree, these bead wreaths aren't going to be around long, but I'm sure you can find some really affordable beads elsewhere, maybe Amazon or on sale at one of the craft stores. Thank you so much for joining me in this video today. Please like, comment, share, and especially subscribe. See you in the next one. Bye.